stress, fear, sorrow. For terminally ill patients and their families, the end of life can be a difficult process. Hospice care is designed to ease the pain and grief that patients and their families may experience at the end of life with comfort, dignity, and peace.
Hospice is a service that promotes quality at the end of life. It provides the very best in palliative care when a person has weeks to months to live.
Although hospice organizations served more than 1.2 million patients last year, studies show that roughly 2/3 of the population die without hospice care. Many families reported that they chose not to use hospice for their loved one because they thought it was too costly. But hospice costs most families little or no money.
Hospice is paid for under Medicare Part A. Medicines and treatment as it relates to the illness is covered at 100%. Insurances also have a component where hospice and non-hospice palliative care is covered.
Others were unclear about what types of patients were candidates for hospice. Although the majority of hospice patients suffer from cancer, hospice treats a wide range of terminally ill patients.
It's not just cancer. We have end-stage neurological illnesses, ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, dementia, patients with acute strokes, renal failure, heart failure, lung disease.
In addition to a range of illnesses, hospice organizations treat a wide range of ages as well. In fact, Hospice of Chattanooga, located in East Tennessee, began one of the area's first pediatric hospice programs in 2001 and has since developed a perinatal hospice service as well.
We care for the mom and dads of children that may not even make it to term. We care from before birth till late in life. So we care for a wide range of patients.
Some patients avoid seeking hospice care because they aren't ready to accept death. However, choosing hospice doesn't mean giving up the fight. Hospice professionals are medically trained to help patients manage their symptoms.
I was a little nervous at first just because when you say hospice, it's real scary. But they came in and they were just a big help because we were taking care of Matt ourselves, all the medical stuff and everything, and it was getting to be overwhelming. And when they came in, they just took over, and then we could just be with Matt rather than having to try to remember all of his medications and all that, so we'd have a little better time with Matt than just caregiving.
So many times too, we didn't have the medical experience that sometimes was needed for things, and it was great to have them to call on.
In fact, Hospice of Chattanooga has developed an entire department specializing in palliative care services designed to meet the needs of those suffering from long-term illnesses.
The non-hospice palliative care program is a new medical specialty that focuses on the relief of suffering and improving quality of life for patients facing serious illnesses. These are patients that will have months to years to live. The type of patients that we typically see are patients with a number of comorbidities, complex illnesses that when they go into the different subspecialties, they are addressing only the heart problem, only the lung problem. Under the non-hospice palliative care program, we address all of the problems as it relates and impacts that patient and that family.
My husband has been my major caregiver for the 40 years we've been married. And as my disability has gotten worse, there's been more things that I needed help with. When hospice came in, he no longer had to wash my hair because he was working full time and trying to do all of my care too. And as long as the hospice can put up with me, then I know that I'll have what I need taken care of. My medications, if one doesn't work, then they try something else. They don't tell me what I'm going to need or what I'm going to do. I'm still in charge of what goes on in my life.
However, when the end of life does arrive, hospice professionals provide patients with peace and comfort, as well as help family members through the bereavement process.
When a person comes to hospice, there are lots of different feelings and fears and just what in the world is going to happen to me now? Why did this happen to me? We listen. I talk to families and patients about where is their sense of hope. We have bereavement programs that happen normally after the person passes away, but many times families are helped by dealing with a previous death and going to a support group.
Despite these misconceptions, the number of patients using hospice is expected to double as baby boomers reach their senior stages. But hospice providers are hoping to increase the percentage of people who use hospice, not just the number, by promoting a better understanding of who is a candidate for hospice and how it works.
We just say hats off to hospice, and we just wish that everyone that is going through what we went through would ask for the services of hospice, because they were great.
More people don't take advantage of programs that we're talking about today because of fear, of them not understanding what they mean. It means putting control back into the person's hands. It means educating the person and the families so they have a choice. Do I want to spend my last days, my last hours in a hospital, in an intensive care unit, or do I want to spend that where I want to spend it, where I'm comfortable around those people that love me?
If you or someone you love is approaching the end of life, choose Hospice of Chattanooga. Specializing in end-of-life care, Hospice of Chattanooga is the community's oldest and largest nonprofit hospice organization. With 8 full-time physicians and a dedicated specially trained team of nurses, bereavement counselors, and volunteers, Hospice of Chattanooga has helped families in Tennessee and North Georgia for more than 25 years. As a nonprofit organization, Hospice of Chattanooga is partially supported by the United Way, private contributions, and a group of caring volunteers who offer comprehensive support and medical care to every family, regardless of ability to pay. With trained staff on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, Hospice of Chattanooga is there to anticipate your every need.
Jerry called hospice, and there was a nurse here within a very short period of time. And this is at a time when they don't normally work. They just cover every minute of every day if you need them.
At Hospice of Chattanooga and the non-hospice palliative care program, we try to empower patients and families for them to make the choices. Not out of fear, not because they're giving up their lifeline, but it's taking control of the lifeline that they have. And studies have shown that our patients live longer with that support and that love. So not doing more to them, but doing more for them makes a huge difference.
Stop feeling alone. For comfort, dignity, and peace for you and your family, choose Hospice of Chattanooga today. To learn more about services, volunteer opportunities, or pledging your support, visit hospiceofchattanooga.org or call 423-892-4289.